Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be sharing a 12 by 12 layout with you guys where I document this photo of my daughter. And this photo was taken quite a few years ago on a class field trip. So I am going to use some basic gray today, and this is for a challenge over at the Secret Not Secret Kid Club that Amy challenges to use a mood board, which I no longer have access to. I cannot even remember what month this challenge is from because it was quite a few months ago. But I remember taking out all of the items I needed to use on the layout, including the basic gray, which was somehow part of the challenge, and I can't remember how. But I remember putting together like a page kit to use and never gotten around to using it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this layout completed today. Now I'm also going to be challenging myself to use this very busy pattern paper that you're looking at right now. And it's definitely out of my comfort zone. I shy away from busy patterns, but I wanted to go ahead and use this pattern today because I like the pattern, but I always think that my layout will look messy compared to other crafters that I see do busy backgrounds and it looks beautiful. I just always have the feeling my own would just look so messy. And I'm also using this sketch that you're looking at to the top left of the screen, and that is from Redefined Creative, and it is a sketch challenge. So there will be like 3 challenges in one here today. So here I'm just trimming up my pattern papers, and I went ahead and trimmed them up incorrectly. I really wanted to use the busy pattern paper a little bit larger than it is right now, and just mat it on the green pattern paper behind it, but I'm not sure what I was thinking, and I trimmed it down a bit too small. So next up, I'll go ahead and work on getting it all corrected, and I will eventually have to piece together that busy pattern paper, but in the end it all comes together and you barely notice the seams where all the pieces connect once I had to piece it together. So you'll notice here that I will need to trim off about a 1/4 inch off the piece on the right side, and I'll also need to cut off about a 1/4 inch on 2 sides of the piece that will go on the bottom. And here I saved you guys from watching it all, and this is the end results where I have it all measured correctly this time, and I'm piecing it all together. I do flip it over and add some washi tape behind, so that way all of my seams will stay together, because I did gut that green pattern paper that's in the back, so there's nothing behind the busy pattern paper. So I will go ahead and just add some washi tape just to hold it down really well. So here I begin working on the layers behind my photo, and you will notice my layers, the sizes vary a little, but I do keep the main design of it and placement pretty much the same. So that green pattern paper that I used to mat my entire layout on will be behind my photo as well, and it sort of separates my photo from that busy pattern paper, and that way it helps my photo remain the focal point. And you can see there is that fishtail banner on the bottom of the photo on the sketch, and I will go ahead and create that right now, but I decided just to add an extra piece in as well, as you'll see in just a few moments. So now I'll go ahead and continue working on the layers behind my photo, and you'll notice that it turns out to be a little small, and the pattern paper behind it is very busy, of course, and it just is too much compared to that cluster in the center. So later on, I do go in and extend my layers a bit further out onto that layout, and that way my photo stands out a bit more and it just isn't overwhelmed by the busy floral behind it. So there is a notebook punch that was used on that little paper that goes on the right side of the photo. And I did use my notebook punch, but I was not liking how it looks. So I decided to grab this Martha Stewart punch instead. And it is a scallop design. And I'm going to add that to the top of that cardstock. And then I'll go ahead and add that next to my photo. Now it looks to be like a journaling spot where that is on the sketch, but I will not be using it as a journaling spot. It'll just be as another layer behind my photo, and to separate, of course, the photo from that floral paper behind it. And you can see I also extended that pink cardstock out a bit more to the right side of my photo. So we have a circular element on the sketch, and I decided to go ahead and use a white doily instead of stitching. And actually that does not look like stitching on a sketch, but you definitely could stitch the circle on there. And it might actually be some die cut circles, but I'm gonna just use the doily today. And of course I had to rip up my photo. I went ahead and added my doily, and when I add my photo back, I will add some foam tape behind it just to lift it off the page a tiny bit and add a little bit of dimension to the layout. For my title, I will be using the alphas that came with this collection, the 2 Scoops collection from Basic Gray, and I'm going to spell out the words adore you. And I do keep it pretty much in the same place like it is in the sketch, except the word you does come down right next to the photo, and there isn't anything there next to the photo in the sketch but the circle. Next up, I will begin working on the embellishments. So you can see here I'm adding a little bit of journaling on that little sticker from a Happy Planner booklet. And I did add that pom-pom ribbon below my photo on that green strip. And I adhered it using some glue dots. Now that is a sticker that I'm using, but I'm not sure what I was thinking of, and I went ahead and just added some glue behind it without removing the sticker backing on there. But that's fine. Now, some of these items do get moved around a bit throughout the process, of course, including those flares that I have on the O's in my title. Those definitely did not stay there, but I kind of like how it looked at first. And here I have this one little bow that's been in my stash forever, so I'm going to try to use that on this layout today. And those arrows as well I've had forever, and those are from Freckle Fun. I felt that this little journaling spot needed something else behind it, so I'm gonna add another sticker behind it from another one of those Happy Planner booklets. And I don't need the center of it where the quote is. I just need the outer edge, and it adds a bit of gold. And I'm also gonna add some of this green pattern paper that I've used before on the layout behind it as well. On the flares and also my handwriting on the journaling spot is black. There's black, and I wanted to bring a little bit more in, so I added some of those hearts, and those are a really dark gray, almost black. Those are from Rosie's studio. And I think that adds a little bit more of that darkness to the layout, just a little bit more contrast. And now I'm going to add in one of these butterflies, and I try to add more than one, but one was just enough. Now I do not want to add too much to the layout, of course, because it's already busy to begin with just with using the paper. So I did not want to add too much, and at this point my clusters are becoming a little bit full. So you'll see I will go back in and adjust the cluster to the right bottom corner, and I do extend my mats in just a few moments as well. So you can see I added some gold splatters, and for my gold splatters I always use Liquitex iridescent gold acrylic ink. And right now I'm gonna just pry up the edge here using my weeding tool, and I love this tool. It helps pry up pieces on your layouts a lot easier than if you were to pull them apart just using your hands, your fingers. It's a lot easier with that tool. I'm just going to slide that in there and go ahead and adhere it. Then I'm going to add some more also to the right side of the page as well. So next up, I'll go ahead and add some Nuvo drops, and I'll also give you guys a close-up look at this layout. Now you will notice also that I shortened up that embellishment cluster that's to the lower right corner of the layout as well. I'll also have some still shots coming up, so be sure to stick around for that. And let me know down below, what is something that you struggle with on your projects like I do with busy backgrounds? Is there anything you struggle with using on your layouts? And have you ever challenged yourself to use something you normally don't use on your layouts? Now, if you'd like to go ahead and share your layout with me that you have challenged yourself on, be sure to tag me on Instagram. That information will be in my description box. Or you can join my Facebook group where you can share your layout there as well. So I want to thank you all for watching today, and until my next video, bye.